Any questions?
I had heard someone else was saying that they were told not to test the estrogen or hormones in general because they're all over the place. But you said what you test for. Is that more consistent?
So what I'm testing, it's more so seeing, are you in menopause or not?
Okay.
Are you peri? Are you menopausal? Are you post? Okay. Not so much like your number should be at this at this point, because we don't know. It's more looking at the bigger picture of what the pattern is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you go by symptoms.
Okay.
So symptoms are more going to be orientated with the progesterone and the estrogen.
Okay.
Testosterone is more based off of the lab.
Okay.
And lab and your symptoms, but
okay.
I would say that one's more lab heavy.
Okay.
Because we're looking at that free testosterone, because that one doesn't cycle as much as like your estrogen and progesterone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So someone that doesn't feel like they're having symptoms, maybe they're on a birth control, it's more generic, not for me question, but if they don't feel like they're having symptoms, like a lot of women aren't educated on what, or aren't aware, I shouldn't say educated, but aren't aware of what the symptoms all entail.
Yes.
Because that's, newer information
Yes.
that's at our fingertips now, but
yes.
When you're saying it's off the symptoms, I mean, they can come in, you can talk through and do a test and kind of say, well, this is where things are at. If they've had a hysterectomy, or they had, they're on a pill or something like that, or an IUD, for one reason or another.
So IUD isn't going to affect the labs much, because that is not a systemic effect. It affects directly on, it's very localized.
Okay.
Birth control pill obviously does. It's much better to do hormone replacement therapy when you're not on birth control.
Okay.
Because again, your sex hormone binding globulin is through the roof, and it's hard to really get benefit from hormones with it.
Okay.
But with like low estrogen symptoms include like hot flashes, brain fog, joint pain, vaginal dryness. Libido can have a little bit with estrogen as well. I'd say those are probably the main things that women complain of, or abdominal fat that they can't get rid of. That's usually estrogen related. Progesterone, it's more of an imbalance with estrogen. You might have the breast tenderness. That could be that your estrogen's higher than your progesterone.
Okay.
Not sleeping really well.
Okay.
Anxiety, because progesterone's your calming hormone. Okay. Testosterone is going to be more of the libido. For men, it's erectile dysfunction. Women, it's anorgasm or inability to orgasm or painful intercourse.
Okay.
So the lubrication too can be testosterone related. Fatigue, difficulty building muscle. Dry eyes is actually low testosterone too, because it helps to lubricate the eyes, the lacrimal gland. So those are kind of the things that people usually complain about to me. And then the thyroid, like I said, the thyroid is more thinning hair, thinning eyebrows, constipation, weight issues, cold hands and feet, brittle nails. That's all things that are a lot of thyroid concerns.
But so if someone's on birth control, the testing wouldn't necessarily be.
It's just not. Yeah. It's when you're over 40, you shouldn't be. You should try to get off of that anyway. It's not hormone replacement therapy. It actually increases your risk of blood clots. It's synthetic, increases your risk of. It's going to increase your weight, because again, it's binding up all of your sex hormone binding globulin, so that you're not lowering your libido. It's making weight loss harder. It's making muscle building hard. It's fighting against you.
Okay.
I mean, it helps with maybe a symptom, but
it sounds like it might be an easy go-to for doctors. So
yeah. Well, and it was the only route, because for 20 years they were told not to give estrogen because it caused breast cancer, which it doesn't. So that was their go-to then, was, well, here's birth control then.
Yeah. So what are we here to do to me today?
We're going to draw some labs to take a big picture, comprehensive look at your health overall. So we're not just drawing...
Not just hormones.
Not just hormones, and not just looking at superficial stuff. So we want to see vitamin D, B12, your iron, because all of those things are also needed to metabolize your hormones. So if something else is metabolically off, you need to fix it. Otherwise, we're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. And we are able to draw whatever labs we want, because we're not dealing with insurance. So I don't have to show medical necessity for why I'm doing something. So for a lot of our females, it's thyroid. And your TSH is normal. So then insurance is not going to then trigger, or the lab isn't going to automatically trigger checking T3, T4 antibodies.
Gotcha.
A lot of women get misdiagnosed or not diagnosed with Hashimoto's because their TSH is fine. Those other lab values are needed to see full picture. Look, blood draw, easy done.
All right.
We send it off, we get the labs back within a week, and then we sit down and review them with you because ethically, if we draw them, we should talk to you about them. Not like, primary care, so like, hey, check your MyChart. No, we're gonna print it out for you and we're gonna go step by step and explain all of it.
Cool. Oh, my left arm's my better arm. Yeah, trust me. Trust me, I get blood. Look.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll just throw a dart from across the room and get it, no problem. Got it.
So,
Like, yeah, you want an easy target, got it.
this is their office, and that's all you get for right now.
These are all symptoms associated with either low testosterone, low thyroid, low estrogen, or low progesterone.
Okay.
Flashes, different than night sweats. Vaginal dryness, decreased libido, inability or delayed orgasm, painful intercourse, urinary incontinence or frequency. How about frequent urinary tract infections? Breast tenderness, and it can be cyclical, it doesn't have to be all the time. Issues with weight or struggles with weight gain or weight loss. Hair loss, hair thinning. So change in the texture of your hair. How about thinning eyebrows? Cold hands or feet? Brittle nails. Dry or flaky skin? Fatigue. How about your ability to build muscle? How about acne? Facial hair.
My son pointed out I have a mustache, so I think it might be a little bit more apparent, but he's also now 13. Like, honey, you can shave, but Mom's not going to. So.
How about dry eyes? Joint pain. Well, you have estrogen receptors throughout your entire body, and one of the symptoms that happens with women in perimenopause is their joint pain gets worse or less controlled.
Okay.
So even by giving you estrogen supplementation, it can help with joint pain. Ironically, it's actually your perimenopausal for your estrogen and your FSH number, so it wasn't a crazy high number. I'd be interested to see. So there's different types of estradiol readings too. LCMS is a more accurate reading. Oftentimes when it's covered by insurance, they don't check that one because it's a more expensive and it takes more time to do it.
Okay.
So the numbers can be off by, they say, even up to 50%.
Wow. Okay.
So where the LCMS is a little bit more accurate. You still are going to do the same cycling, it's just you're not going to hit those peaks as high as you would have, before perimenopause. And what we would do too is we would probably do an estrogen patch, not the pellet. Okay. Because the pellet is one that once it's in there and you can't really change anything, right? If you're having any increased estrogen symptoms, it's like, we'll just have to wait it out. So we don't want to do that. So I usually start with a patch because they're easily tunable. Okay. You change it twice a week. It's not as much issues with the cream. Sometimes there's transference or, you can just get it on things, compliance of doing it every day. So the patch is kind of a nice kind of tweener option for the three. Does your mind race at bedtime? Do you eat when stressed? All right, you said you're not on a calorie restriction right now. That was one question I wanted to ask. No. With your protein, are you on a higher protein? Or how much protein do you get in a day? Because some of that, with the labs too, it kind of, some causes of some of the things being a little bit higher or off can be from a high protein diet. Like something called sex hormone binding globulin, which we'll talk about. But also your kidney function, your BUN. So BUN and creatinine is how your kidneys are working. So whenever we print these off, the top is always going to have the ones that are out of the normal range. Now, conventional medicine and functional medicine, we look at things a little bit differently. Conventional is your number outside of the normal range? Okay.
For the unhealthy population.
For the unhealthy population, I go in and see the doctor. Exactly. Where I'm looking at, is it at the optimal range? Is it where we're feeling the best? Okay. So MPV, mean platelet volume, that is kind of the size of your platelets. Okay. Then if this is high or low, I look at, how are the platelets counts looking? Your platelet count is good. So typically then, if the platelet count is good, the other counts in the blood count are good, then this usually means it's something that's triggering inflammation. BUN creatinine ratio, again, this is kidney function. It's usually related, when it's high, it's usually related to dehydration, high protein diet, high caffeine as well. Blood sugar, 96, which is fine when you're not fasting.
Creatinine is
Yes.
So it's creatine
can increase creatinine.
Okay.
Yes.
Awfully. So I take 10 milligrams. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not affecting your creatinine. So, sodium, potassium chloride. These are all your electrolytes. Iron helps with your thyroid function from your T4 converting to T3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we need it between 80 and 100 for it to have optimal function for the thyroid.
Okay.
Ferritin is the savings account of iron. Okay. So you could have a good iron store.
Okay.
Like if I drew a serum iron.
Okay.
Ferritin is the savings account. So you don't have a lot of extra in your savings account.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different.
Okay.
So that's probably why your iron is okay, but you don't have a savings account. They're not checking the savings account.
So a supplement would help with the savings account then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Because if it helps with the iron, it's going to help pour into the savings account. Because
Okay.
you always fill your checking account before you fill your savings.
Right.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Okay. Thyroid. So TSH is what typically the primary care doctors will check. 0.7 is wonderful. Okay. So that means that it is getting the signal from your pituitary to produce for the TSH to then tell the T4 to be produced. Okay. But what's happening is, so this is good. This is kind of on we want it closer to 1.6. The higher, the better.
Okay.
And up to here. Obviously, we don't want super high.
Okay.
But then like I said, what needs to happen is T4 needs to convert to T3.
Okay.
Because T3 is the active hormone.
Okay.
T4 is one produced, and that's got to convert. T4 doesn't do anything. Okay? So it's not helpful that these are great if it's not converting to T3.
Okay.
Because T3 is what balances your metabolism. It either makes your hair nice and thick, minimizes it from falling out, helps with weight loss or maintenance, helps with body temperature regulation, helps with nails, helps with skin. That's why I asked those questions.
Yeah.
So even though you've had it all the time, that doesn't mean it's normal, right?
Could this have been an issue all the time?
Yes.
And
That's what I'm saying, is it could have been, yes.
Oh.
Because this should be 3.6 to 4.2.
Okay.
What I usually start with though is, because now I know that while your ferritin isn't optimal, we would start with doing the iron.
Okay.
I also start people on something called Thyroid Boost. It is selenium and zinc mostly.
Okay.
Which are needed also to help with conversion.
Okay.
So optimizing your thyroid would be one of the goals. Estrogen, like we kind of talked about, this number in your cycle indicates that it is early perimenopause.
Okay.
Okay.
So there is a number or a way to test. It's not just symptoms.
Correct. They do mostly based off symptoms, because when you're in perimenopause, your cycles fluctuate. Right. So that's why it's kind of hard to grasp what those numbers should be, because your cycle is variant. Sometimes it's 3 weeks, sometimes it's 3.5 weeks, sometimes it's 4 weeks, sometimes it's 2 months. So some people get to that point, and that's when you can't tell where you are per se. Okay. Menopause is easy because this number is going to be, it's going to say less than 10, and your follicle stimulating hormone is going to be high.
Okay.
That's how we know you're, and you haven't had a period for a year. Those are kind of the three things we look at to see are you in menopause. So menopause is literally a day.
Yep.
Okay. Perimenopause can be 10 years.
Yep.
And then postmenopause is every day after that anniversary of not having a period.
Yes. And you get the transition, which is 12 months.
Yes. Testosterone total, 11.7. I see this number a lot. If you see, this is the quote-unquote normal range. The total testosterone doesn't mean as much as the free testosterone.
Okay.
Because total is counting all the testosterone, whether it's bound or whether it's floating. Okay. This is where we put people on hormone replacement therapy. Okay. Around, I'd say more so 100, 150 is where I put most people. That's where studies have shown improvement in symptoms with minimal side effects. Okay. That's the more normal, conventional range. That as long as you're in this range, they're never going to tell you there's anything wrong with you. Follicle stimulating hormone. So think of FSH and TSH, so thyroid stimulating, follicle stimulating. Okay. They're both the ones that are knocking on their organ, telling it to produce either more T4 for the thyroid or more estrogen for the ovaries. Okay. So if it's going like this, that means your body ain't making much.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because it's saying, hey, wake up, do some more.
Down the door.
Yes. So, and again, it's all cyclical as well.
Okay.
But the higher this number gets, typically the closer you are, you know, menopause is going to be when that estrogen is at that less than 10. This is typically going to be like 40s, 50s, 60s.
Okay.
But both of them all together, is we look at both of them together, that tells us you're in that perimenopause because you are in the teens with that in your cycle.
Okay.
Sex hormone binding globulin, 86. It's a little on the higher side, not too bad for optimizing.
Okay.
Think of sex hormone binding globulin as your taxi. That's what carries around your hormones, whether it's thyroid hormone, whether it's estrogen, whether it's testosterone.
Okay.
Okay? So you don't want it really high because it's actually the free stuff, testosterone free. This is what actually gives you symptoms, whether it's good or bad. Okay? So because you have only 11 total testosterone and you have 80 taxis, all of your testosterone is in a car.
Oh,
okay.
That's an interesting analogy.
Okay.
Okay.
It can cause low libido, it can cause vaginal dryness, it can cause poor sleep, night sweats, irritability, brain fog, joint pain. All those things can happen because you get those improved when you increase this.
Okay.
Okay. So by giving you hormone replacement therapy, you increase the total, which then also gives more people to get in taxis, but also leaves more people waiting for a taxi.
Okay.
So that helps improve the symptoms then.
Okay.
Okay? So sometimes this number can be high from different medications, like antidepressants can increase it. People that work out a lot can increase it. Overweight can increase it.
Okay.
What's the other? Oh, birth control can get it in the 300s. So they're very high. That's why with the people that are on birth control, they say it can lower libido and make weight loss difficult. Is because you have all these taxis, so all your hormones are bound up.
Okay.
So that's why it causes all those symptoms of almost low testosterone.
Okay.
Because everything gets bound up. So you would be a candidate for hormone replacement therapy.
Okay.
With the testosterone. Like I said, estrogen, I'd probably do the patch just because of what you said with your history of having these higher numbers, just because it's more tunable for us to deal with. The progesterone, you can keep having them monitoring the progesterone for you if you want, since they're doing the cream. And your vitamin D, we like it around 80. You're 67, which is good. But 80 is kind of more of an optimal for neuro and brain, as well as mood and helping the thyroid. But yeah, and some of these things too, with the shape of the platelets, with the inflammation, that can cause migraines. The kidney function with dehydration, obviously, can cause migraines and headaches. Hormone fluctuations can cause migraines. So the migraines can get improved with hormone replacement therapy too. And then mood as well. Mood is more, I would say, testosterone can calm mood, oddly, because a lot of people think rage.
Yeah.
But I've had a lot of even men tell me that they've been more tolerant of their children and things on the testosterone, and they just feel more even keel. So in regards to the hormone replacement therapy, there's kind of 3 different routes.
Okay.
One is creams. There's estrogen creams, there's testosterone creams, there's progesterone creams. Okay. Creams can get you a pretty good result. I would say the pain about them is compliance, making sure you do it every single day. Also transference, making sure you're washing your hands, cleaning off the counter afterwards if you're under the faucet. Nice thing about it is bioidentical, so that means it's identical to what you produce. Your body sees it as its own. And it's tunable, right? Because again, you could do it for a few weeks, and if you're like, I'm not really noticing much, let's add a click, you know, and see how that goes. Sometimes it can get hard when you're doing all creams, because it's like testosterone here, estrogen here, progesterone here, you know, and like alternating around. I don't think that you can get as great of numbers with creams as you can injections and pellets, just because of absorbency is only like 45%. So it can take a little bit more to figure out dosing wise. Next step up would be, and I don't want to say step up because it's not necessarily, but injections. So that would be mostly testosterone. If we do estrogen, then I do the patch with that. The testosterone shots, we do subcutaneous, so it's not intramuscular, so it's a small little needle, usually into the abdomen. You just alternate sides.
Is that daily?
Twice a week.
Twice.
2 to 3 times. I usually start with twice a week. And so basically, like if your total in the week is 6 milligrams, you'll do 3 milligrams and 3 milligrams. anytime we adjust dose, we check labs about 6 to 8 weeks after to see if we're in the range. If we end up doing an estrogen patch, I do recommend doing that, because the patch is twice a week too, doing them on the same day. Because for labs then, I want to check your lab the day that you'd be changing your patch and doing your shot, but before you do those things, because I want to get you on the way down to
I
see
would rather do them the same day anyway,
it just makes it
remember it. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So I always advise that. The downside to it is testosterone. The testosterone is bioidentical, but there is an ester attached to it that is synthetic.
Okay.
So when it gets injected, that comes off of the testosterone, so it's identical, but the synthetic piece can still increase your risk of side effects. So oilier skin, breakouts, things like that can happen.
Okay.
Hair thinning, all that.
Okay.
I feel like the shots do better from a muscle perspective.
Okay.
For building the muscle and muscle recovery and things like that for workouts. But from what I've noticed from the pellet, I have more well-being, more improved mood, more energy. Yeah, I felt just a little bit better with everything else. It does help still with the recovery. I just don't feel as much at the gym maybe with the pellets as I do with the shots.
Okay.
But the people that are on the shots love the shots.
Okay.
They don't know different from the pellet, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's more of a, I think the decision typically comes with, are you okay with that little synthetic piece? Mm-hmm. Or are you okay with having a pellet that's a slow release? It's bioidentical, so the pellet's bioidentical.
Okay.
Okay. But it's a slow release over 3 to 4 months. So if you do have,
and it's just once and done.
Well, yeah. So it's nice with compliance.
Yeah.
Because you don't set and forget it. Mm-hmm. But some people that are like, you know, they're sensitive to meds, or they have issues with, you know, they're like, if I'm the one person that something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen to me. So they're like, I don't want to do the pellet, because if I get that pellet in me, something's gonna happen to me, and I'm gonna lose my hair, and I have to wait for it to get on my system.
Okay.
But with the pellets, we do have a software that we put your height, your age, your weight, your medical history, your labs, your symptoms in it, and it spews out a dose. And typically the dose is either spot on or a little low.
Okay.
So we always can put more in, we can't take it out.
Roger.
Okay. So we always will start on the lower end anyway. And if we have someone that's just like hesitant now about it, we'll just start low, because we check on everybody after their first pellet insertion, which I'll explain what that means. 5 weeks later, we do a telehealth, and I go over that symptom tracker again.
Okay.
And kind of see, how are you doing, how are you feeling?
Okay.
If you're like, I feel nothing from this, then we'll do labs again and see, will do the labs reflect that, or what's going on?
Okay.
Or if you're like, I feel amazing, you know, this is the best thing I've ever done, then we just wait until your next pelleting, which is about 3 to 4 months later, to draw labs to see how long it lasted.
Okay.
And that's how we decide the dose the next time.
Okay.
Well, the good thing too is, because like what I did is I did the pellets and then I tried the shots. So it can be something too where, you know, you can try the pellets for a couple of sessions, and then if you're like, hey, I just want to see what the shots are like, we just have to wait until you're due. Right. And then we can always start the shots and see. Yeah. Now with the skin, the acne piece, I will tell you that testosterone obviously can increase breakouts, because that's why we're on your cycle. You end up with breakouts. With the pellet, the first time I had it, I did get some more breakouts, just because you're going from 11 to 150. Okay, so because you're going from floor to ceiling, you will notice some changes in your skin, just because physiologically that's going to happen. Okay, but then the next time, you're not going to go back down to 11, you'll probably be to 70. And then we put more in and we bring you back up. So because that variance isn't as big, that side effect, your body's just got to adjust to it. So just know that it could happen. Don't freak out that it's going to be like that every single time. Mine cleared up after that first time. Same with water retention. Testosterone is water loving as well. So some women too will feel that or notice that retention that they get in the beginning from it. We can do water pills. We tell you just drink more water to help try and flush it all out. But there are all things that we can add to it to help make that more comfortable. With the breakouts, we can add spironolactone. I usually don't love spironolactone because it suppresses testosterone. So it's like it's undoing what we're doing, not significantly, but there are things that we can do to counteract some of these things too.
Okay.
So how that works then is we just schedule you for like a 30-minute appointment.
Okay.
You come in. It gets inserted into the butt cheek. Do you have any issues with epinephrine or lidocaine that they give you at the dentist when they numb you? Anything like that? So then we make a little mixture. You lay on your side. We just inject a needle straight into the subcutaneous or the fatty tissue of the butt cheek to numb it all up. That's the worst part. It feels like a pinch and burn. So if you ever had like a mole removed or, like I said, dental work where they numb you, that pinching, that's what it feels like.
Okay.
But after that, all you feel is pressure.
Okay.
Then what we do is we insert basically a hollow needle into that space that I numbed.
Okay.
And then the pellets look like little Tic Tacs. We place it into the hollow needle, and then we just go. Boop,
is it the size of a Tic Tac?
It's I don't know. It's smaller. It's smaller.
Oh, okay. I'm like Tic Tacs are a good size.
Yeah. Guys are big ones. Girls are smaller. And then basically they just slowly break down with your heart rate. So it's by cardiac output. So the more active you are, you tend to burn through them faster too. Okay. But yeah, and then the big part too with it that might be a bummer for you because of exercise is you can't do anything glute or lower body for 3 days afterwards.
Whenever you get them. Or lower body.
Lower body. Nothing using that glute muscle because we don't suture it. We just put steri strips over it. So we don't want them to travel out.
Oh, those two things.
Yep.
Schedule appointment for the pellets. And then the patch, you do with the either or. You say you like to start with that. That sounds good.
Yes.
Do I get that then when I come back?
So I can send that script in for you.
Okay.
For the patch. I usually start on a really low dose.
Okay.
Well, good.
Thank you.
Good. Well, I'm going to give you these.